On this episode of China Uncensored, China brings you Sonic Attack 3. This one's not much fun, though. Welcome back to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. The pen is mightier than the sword, but sound can be an even more dangerous weapon. Just ask anyone who's been with me to karaoke. Near, far, wherever you are. Yes, sound can be a weapon, and some people are concerned that U.S. diplomats in China have fallen victim to sound weapons, or sonic attacks. At least 2 Americans tied to the U.S. consulate in the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou have been evacuated due to mysterious ailments that came after they heard odd sounds. A U.S. State Department spokeswoman said Wednesday night that the department had sent a number of individuals for further evaluation in the United States. A U.S. official spoke to ABC News, saying the evacuated Americans were being brought for testing to the University of Pennsylvania. It follows this health advisory from the U.S. Embassy in China, warning that if you experience any unusual acute auditory or sensory phenomenon accompanied by unusual sounds or piercing noises, do not attempt to locate their source. Instead, move to a location where the sounds are not present. Which seems like the plot to a 1950s B-movie, The Sound from Space. One U.S. consulate employee was diagnosed with a mild traumatic brain injury. And that followed a similar incident last year in Havana, Cuba. 24 U.S. Embassy employees reported symptoms similar to a concussion after some sort of acoustic element, such as a high-pitched beam of sound or a baffling sensation akin to driving with the windows partially open in a car. That's exactly how my college girlfriend reacted when I told her I was starting a Baroque metal band called Acoustic Attack. Back to China. The New York Times uncovered the identity of one of the 2 most recent evacuees from the U.S. consulate in Guangzhou, and apparently he had complained in an email to the entire consulate that they were lied to about how serious the situation was. That's why he and his wife didn't report their symptoms right away. His symptoms included dizziness, headaches, and an inability to concentrate. Wait, that just sounds like a normal day at the office. But in all these cases, victims report hearing a strange sound before suffering physical symptoms. No one knows for sure what's behind it. One explanation is it's a sonic attack. I know what you're thinking. I haven't had a sonic attack since 1991. Yeah, the original game was from 1991. You are old. But weaponizing frequencies is very real technology, not just some crazy scheme by Dr. Robotnik. There are 3 types of sonic weapons. The first type is simply playing music or sound really, really loud, like a Limp Bizkit concert. Now that's a sonic attack. Another type of sonic weapon is called an infrasonic weapon. It blasts loud, low-frequency sounds that can't be heard by the human ear, but can be felt. This technology has been used to, I kid you not, fight off pirates. And everyone knows that pirates are just like diplomats. But it's unlikely infrasonic weapons are the culprit. They're typically pretty bulky, not something you can hide in a consulate. The effects include excruciating headaches, ear pain, and even involuntary defecation. That's not what the consulate employees reported, but then again, would you tell your boss if you had involuntary defecation? The third type of sonic weapon is ultrasonic weapons. Those are frequencies too high to hear. They can cause nausea and headaches, which is like the symptoms the U.S. diplomats reported suffering from. But there are problems with this theory. Ultrasonic emitters are very short range, like if you're standing on the other side of the room, that's too far kind of short range. Then there's the fact that ultrasound is also highly directional. Precise alignment in millimeters would be needed to steer an ultrasonic beam to hit someone from across a room. It'd be like if Goldfinger said, "I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. Just, that bench doesn't have any chains, so stay right there." Okay, so probably not ultrasonic weapons either. So, are there any other theories? Yes, actually. These might not have been ultrasonic weapons, but rather just sloppy ultrasonic spying. You see, ultrasound is also used in motion sensors, And studies have found it can even be used to read a person's mouth in noisy rooms or even whispering. Ultrasonic frequencies can also be used to take over voice-controlled devices like Amazon's Alexa. Alexinator: Rise of the Machines, available now on Amazon Prime Video. But then the problem is, if that ultrasonic emitter is trying to target your Alexa on the other side of the room and you walk right in front of it, the strength could be thousands of times greater. Even short exposure could cause damage. And if there are several ultrasonic spy devices, if you get in just the right position where all of them are directly focused on your brain, your head explodes. Okay, not really, but it could cause the kind of damage we've seen with US diplomats in China and Cuba. This might make more sense. Trying to spy on diplomats? Well, everyone does that. Attacking diplomats with experimental sonic weapons, on the other hand, that's kind of raising the bar, like going from Sonic to Tails. Either that, or it was the aliens all along. Before you go, now's the time when we answer questions from fans who support China Uncensored on the crowdfunding website Patreon. J.R. Harrison asks, what do you plan on doing once the CCP collapses? One final episode, and then a nice long snooze on the beach. But until then, I've got work to do. Speaking of work, Shelley, on the next China Uncensored karaoke night, it's you, me, and a whole new world. What's that? What do you mean you're busy? Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Leave your comments below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time. A whole new world.
A whole new world.
That's where we'll be.
That's where we'll be.
A thrilling chase.
A wondrous place
for you